What's going on, Z Nation, and welcome to another edition of ZSPN. I'm your host, Zaid here, and today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs. It's an away game. They're at Arrowhead. It's a rival team, and obviously, this game was supposed to be an important game for the Denver Broncos. It was sort of hold on to to a playoff potential win type of scenario, but unfortunately that's not the case. And guys, you can really tell that the Broncos' chances for a playoff is nowhere in sight, and that ship has sailed, and that just really brings into a lot of things to perspective by saying that changes need to happen. Changes really need to happen, and obviously the main issue is the coaching. Second is quarterback, in my opinion. Third is defense. I can really say this though: our rushing game has improved, and I want the Broncos to really invest into our running game. They have great talent there with Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman, which, by the way, he's out with an injury. But Devontae Booker came out of nowhere today and just played very good football. I mean, for quite some time now. So kudos to him and Philip Lindsay. When it comes to our wide receivers, I don't think they are the problem. They are playing so hard out there to the point that, they just want the ball to be passed to them. Like, Case Keenum, pass me the ball, I'll catch the ball. Like, don't worry about it. And it's like, we have really good wide receiver depth with Emmanuel Sanders. Damaris Thomas, which, by the way, guys, I'm a fan of Damaris Thomas, and I'll be very shocked if the Broncos do end up trading him on Tuesday, the last day of the trade deadline. I've seen reports saying that they're just possibly going to listen to some deals, but it's a 50-50 chance that maybe possibly they will let him stay, or possibly they will trade him, which it will be a huge insult to all Bronco fans if somehow Damaris Thomas is traded, because he has been a long time Bronco, and he always played good football for Bronco fans, and especially for me. And this is going to be a huge sad moment if they do decide to trade him. I mean, I would rather him possibly take a pay cut in the off season and just possibly stick around. Maybe play like the second, maybe third option for the Denver Broncos, because he plays very well. I mean, sure, he only had maybe 3 touches and possibly 30 yards on his in today's game, but at the end of the day, he can still produce and can really be a key moment type of player at any given moment. So our wide receivers overall, they're doing a fantastic job, in my opinion. But the main issue at hand is our coaching, quarterbacks, and our defensive line. And let's just get into this defensive Broncos defense just real quick. The thing is, I really thought that the Broncos defense were going to show up. I mean, this is a very good Kansas City offense. I mean, they are basically in the playoffs without a doubt, and they will possibly maybe reach an NFC, AFC maybe championship. I mean, they could probably do that, and I can really say, guys, the Broncos defense did not show up whatsoever. I mean, maybe we can give some credit to Justin Simmons, who got an interception, and other than that, I didn't really see any sort of production out of this Broncos defense, and just really, guys, something needs to change. I'm not sure, maybe if in these next couple of days they can possibly make a trade for I don't know, maybe a quarterback, or maybe like a lineman. I mean, it's all up in the air for the Broncos to really focus on possibly just improving. Maybe for these next couple of games, they can just put on a good show for the Bronco fans. But other than that, we could possibly see a trade. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but maybe. I mean, we only have 2 days until the trade deadline ends on Tuesday, October 30th. So anything can happen. Secondly, guys, is the quarterback. Case Keenum is not cutting it. I mean, this is the guy that the Broncos paid on a 2-year contract. We all assume that he's not going to be a long-term quarterback for the Broncos, but all signs are showing that you paid a guy $36 million guarantee. I mean, that's a lot of money wasted there, and the way he's performing is not living up to his last year's performance, having basically a Pro Bowl performance, in my opinion, and just not living up to that season potential that he had. And I'm not sure it's because of our coaches as well. Maybe the coaches are not doing a good job by just coaching Case Keenum to his potential that he had in with the Vikings. So the thing is, I'm just hoping right now that John Elway, which by the way, I want to put this out there. Even though John Elway has a history with the Denver Broncos, being the quarterback and delivering us a championship, and once he became a GM, really he helped really put the Broncos back on the map by bringing in Peyton Manning and stuff. Just having those good couple of years under his belt, I think it's time to just really move on from John Elway. I mean, some of you guys might be gonna comment down below, give me like some hate comments about it, but it's the honest truth, guys. Elway has not been doing a great job as a GM for these last couple of years. I can honestly say maybe 2 years since the Broncos won their Super Bowl 50. So he's not been doing a great job, especially with like quarterback decision making and bringing in some players that he drafts from like a quarterback standard. Honestly, he's just not living up to it, and I'm not saying that it will happen. Most of the Broncos organization love John Elway and what he's doing for the organization, so we could possibly see him still sticking around. But in my honest opinion, I think a change of GM should be implemented. So that's my own personal opinion. If you guys think that John Elway is doing a great job, comment down below, give me your thoughts. Because guys, I'm just saying, I mean, John Elway did a good job as GM when he brought in Peyton Manning, fixed our defense, and just honestly, we became like the best team in those 4 years that John Elway has been a great GM at that time. But then he just declined for these last 3 years. So that's just my own personal opinion. If you guys think that he's doing a great job, please comment down below. But honestly, guys, what I really have to say when it comes down to it is the coaches. Maybe Case Keenum is not having a good game or good season. It's because of our coaches. Honestly, the number one issue, it is Vance Joseph. Vance Joseph has really not been a good head coach. He's a good defensive-minded coach, but he's not a good offensive coach, and just really not been a good coach overall. Honestly, guys, I think if John Elway comes to his senses and put his ego aside, he should really consider firing Vance Joseph right away, and just maybe implement possibly Bill Musgrave to the interim head coaching job, and just possibly look for a head coach in the next in next season. So in the off season actually. So honestly, that's my personal opinion, and most Bronco fans really want it to happen because he's not been doing a good job as a head coach. So we can definitely possibly see Vance Joseph being gone. Maybe not right away, but maybe possibly once the season is over for the Denver Broncos. And secondly, I have to talk about maybe possibly our offensive coordinator, which I just mentioned, Bill Musgrave. Maybe he's not living up to his coaching abilities, and maybe possibly they will make some changes there. And most importantly is our defensive coordinator, Joe Woods. At one point, guys, during the season, I had great admiring for Joe Woods because he's doing a good job as filling in the shoes, in my opinion, for our last defensive coordinator, and we all know who he is, Wade Phillips. So he's doing a good job for the Rams right now. So we could just really honestly say we just miss the hell out of him, and John Elway possibly made the biggest mistake by not bringing him back, for re-signing him. So at one point I did say I like Joe Woods, but then he's just not doing a good job as a defensive coordinator, and we could possibly see him being gone in the off season. So lots of things will be changed in the coaching positions, and me personally, I think the first one has to start with is Vance Joseph. So overall, guys, I will still possibly make videos for the Denver Broncos throughout the season. I mean, obviously, they could possibly make get a W or two in these next couple of weeks, and that they have, and I'm still going to continue talking about them. But overall, I'm still going to be possibly criticizing the Denver Broncos by how they play, and if they still keep on playing this way, I will still possibly give them I'll give you guys my thoughts about it. And overall, playoff wise, it's not in their Broncos' future this year, and just overall changes needs to be made to the Denver Broncos team, and possibly all starts with either the coaching, quarterback, or defense. So guys, comment down below, give me your thoughts about the Broncos. Do you guys agree with everything that I just said, or do you guys have some opinions that I possibly didn't mention, or do you have any opinions of your own that disagrees with me? And guys, I appreciate your opinions about anything that has to do with the sports that I bring up, whether if it's Broncos or the Lakers. I mean, you guys always keep it 100, and you just really bring a lot of insights that I never really even thought about. So guys, comment down below, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Broncos. Let's just hope possibly some changes will be made, and maybe if they take this loss very hardly, and they could possibly change things around. It still depends. Peace.